Welcome to Ultimate Producer, the beat battle series that focuses on artist talent and rewarding producers. In this episode, it's a versus battle, meaning two producers will go head-to-head and compete for the prize. Today's battle was chosen on Discord. I hosted a poll, and there was a 5-way tie between different challenges. As the series progresses, more challenges will be revealed. This is the first challenge of many. The challenge for today's battle is Foundation. Producers must use the sample unaltered at least one time in their song. If you would like to be a part of the beat battles or get to vote inside the challenges, join the Discord with the link in the description. Producers' songs will be scored in a system of 1 to 10 in 5 different categories. The producer with the overall highest score wins. Our guest judge today will be Wile E. Coyote, composer, producer, and voice actor.
Hi, I'm Wile E. Coyote. I'm a voice actor and musician. Done a lot of things on the internet. I've worked with Crunchyroll Games, Filmations, Narmak Animations, and I've also worked with SoundNinja here on a couple songs, so that's pretty cool.
I did not know that you actually worked with Crunchyroll Games. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, no, it was a mobile game called Grand Alliance.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty dope. Did you do voices for it, or?
Yep, I got to voice one of the characters, one of the more popular characters, I think, actually, in that short-lived game.
I had no idea. It's the same with like Jay Figgy. Like when I first, because that was me and Jay Figgy's first real meeting was last, 2 weeks ago or so. Like we had known each other for a long time, but that was like this is like the same thing with like this. I don't think we've really had a call before like this and actually like spoken face to face ish. So there is a rule with this battle. This battle in particular has an actual what I call challenge, or I guess maybe I'll find a better name to call them. But right now, this is like the challenge for the battle. This challenge is called Foundation, meaning they are not allowed to edit the sample or change the sample in any way. So they have to use the sample exactly how it was sent to them. They're not allowed to cut it, chop it, edit it, or do anything to it, other than like move it around, retime it, that kind of thing. So it's a solid loop. It is a harder sample to use. So I randomly rolled a wheel and I randomly chose one of the challenges. They ended up choosing the numbers, and it was like a 7-way tie or 6-way tie, I think it was, in the poll. And so I put those 6 numbers into a random number picker, and it picked Foundation. So. It's a weird one. So the odds are not in their favor for this being like a non-edited sample.
I wonder if that has anything to do with the low submission count.
I'm a man of fairness, and they chose what they did, and I'm not altering it, so that's how it was. First one is Cherribomb. We'll listen to their song first. All right, are you ready?
Yeah, let's go. Let's make it happen.
That's not what you want.
Let's turn it down a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
So what did you think of that track? It does have an extra 30 seconds. I did tell the contestants to not go over the 2-minute mark. If they go over it by a few seconds, like a fade out or a tail, I don't mind it. But that one did go to like 2.5 minutes. So that one I cut early. That one
Okay, that's
unfortunately was
fine.
cut early, so it's gonna kind of hurt the arrangement, I think, a little bit because it's like you don't get to hear the full song because they went over the time limit.
Unfortunate. No, that was.
What do you think of that track? What's your overall thoughts?
There was like a grittiness to it, like action movie, or like because of the sound effects, I started thinking of like maybe a battle in like an anime or something.
Interesting.
And then the Pac-Man sample came in, and I was like, "Oh, are these all video game samples? Am I way off base with this?"
If you couldn't hear it, the the Minecraft rocket sound when you launch with like an elytra. That's what also that like high pitched.
Yeah.
So for creativity,
Interesting.
Where would you put this out of a 10?
I definitely say they made quite a bit out of what they could do with it. You can only do so much creatively when you can't change the sample at all.
Yeah,
but
well,
I think they
part
played.
of the challenge to lock in.
I think they played into it well, though, because it matches so well. I'm gonna put it. I would put it at like an 8. Just like a 10 in my mind would be if they did something completely out of left field that I never saw coming, but it works amazingly. You know what I mean?
So what do you
definitely
think for creativity? Like just like overall, right? The song, it like the sound design that went into it, how the sample was used, the story it's kind of telling, that kind of stuff. Like what do you think? What do you think creatively for that? Like
there's definitely like I imagined a scenario, so that always helps it for sure as well. Like I could see the scene that this track was accompanying. I think that counts for something. Maybe now that you've explained what creativity is, maybe I'd put it at like a 6 or a 7 now because of like the way you described it.
I would agree as well.
Okay.
And also now like thinking about it too, the only thing, so there's only one thing that knocks it down a point for me, and that is this is a reused beat from another time.
Really?
Yeah, this is reused, so it's not entirely original to the beat battle. Because I heard them release this a little bit like prior to this too. So I've heard like a lot of parts of this track already.
Oh.
Like those
wow.
the like repeating rocket sound in the background for the elytra. That was also like a common theme inside the last track too. So for me, I would definitely hit it at 6 because like I heard the creativity and there is creative aspects all in it. And I'll say the same thing I said last time for Cherribomb's beats because they were also in the last battle. It kind of feels like it's like a collage of things. Like it's a big mixture of a whole bunch of things. So it's like it has like a whole lot of aspects to it. But then again, it knocks it down one because I've literally heard them release pretty much the same beat with something else. They just added the sample into it kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah. I wouldn't have known that. But yeah, 6 seems right.
Okay. I feel like me for production quality, I think I'm looking particularly for clear vision with production quality. I think that's probably same with arrangement, but more so production quality. It's like there's a lot of stuff in here that feels like it clashes and kind of fights with each other frequency wise. That could just be these headphones. I'm listening on cheaper-ish headphones right now today. But even still on consumer headphones, it should still sound cohesive and a little bit more mixed together. But it feels like it was really boomy and kind of like bass washed, if that makes sense.
Here's the hard part: is like it was definitely really boomy, but like, how do you know if that was that the purpose or was that not? You know what I mean?
For me, it's more specifically like, could you hear this being aired on like a radio? You know, like Marshmello. Do you think this would like match up with Marshmello or like Tyler the Creator's production quality? Like when they make their music and you listen to their sounds, right? Like, does this match up sound-wise, sonically?
Damn, that feels like really mean though. Not mean, but like a really high standard.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's production quality, right? It's like if you want to hear the highest quality, you have to know your stuff. And the whole point of the competition and the battle is to push people to be at their best, and that's what I want to find is the best. The whole point of Ultimate Producer is to find the ultimate producer and put them on the spotlight. I want to reward you know, the producers that really know how to produce and mix. And it's like, if you don't know how to mix and produce, that's okay. It's just a matter of like, that's what the whole point of the feedback and criticism is. Like, you know, certain things for like they overlap. And I'm not sure exactly how much Cherribomb knows for production, like mixing or like actually mastering and mixing and stuff like that. But it kind of sounds like there's not like a whole lot of like, you know, trimming high ends or low ends on certain samples, and everything just kind of falls together and starts overlapping.
The kicks are really punchy, good, but they kind of drown out some of the other things. Like when that snare came in after that switch up, it felt a lot quieter. Felt like there maybe should have been a little more punch to that as well.
The kick drum is so strong, it makes the snare sound weak in comparison. And I feel like arguably what makes a lot of songs the most impactful is actually probably the snare or clap being like more impactful than the kick typically. It's like, it's kind of what I think of at least. Like I feel like because a lot of people rap to the snare or sing to the snare, and it's like that's kind of the hitting point. Like you have the kick, you have a kick keeping groove, and then you have like the snare hitting your timing. And also every song has critiques and has pieces that are different or worse or better. So it's like, it feels rough. I hate like judging harshly, but it's like, I also want to, like, again, I want to be critical of stuff because the whole point is to give people feedback, and it doesn't help anybody if I sugarcoat what we actually think. Because if I'm just like, oh, this sounds great, then people keep making the same mistakes and nothing gets changed. And then somebody who's not as nice as us comes along and starts really tearing into your music, you know?
Arrangement. Like even listening back to it just that second time, I was feeling like, okay, it does get a little repetitive. The first listen through, I was jamming. I was like, all right, this is blood pumping like music, right? And on the second one, it was kind of like, I started noticing the mistakes a little more. And I think there is something to that, in that if you like on first listen, you know, first impression's got to be your best, but replayability factor, like you mentioned, is definitely something to look out for.
Yeah, I think in terms of arrangement for me, this falls kind of in the middle ground. Like there is a change. There was some actually decent like little chop ups and breakups and different things that added to it. There wasn't like just it wasn't completely stagnant, which is really nice. The last battle that they were in, they ended up kind of having pretty much a loop. So this is like really good for arrangement for them because this is like a big change.
Oh, good. I do think there could be something like really special if you like, I don't even know if like a new genre or anything like that, but just this cinematics incorporated with video game sounds. One of my favorite artists for a long time was Varian, because they like to incorporate like video game sounds into their EDM productions. I think that's cool. My light goes my diffuser. Lord, I look like a ghost for a second. No, I definitely think that's cool, and keep doing that. Keep working with those samples. So you could definitely come up with something cool.
I have not listened to either of these, by the way. These are completely first listen throughs. I make sure I don't listen to them, and I make sure other judges can't hear them either. So like nobody gets the opportunity to listen to them until we get our first.
No spoilers.
Together. Yeah, it's like I don't get spoilers. Nobody gets spoilers. All right, we have Omnimusicproductions. So this is our versus battle. I could 100% hear this without a game going super hard.
Dude. Oh my god. talk because I just want to listen.
That should be the end of it because it ends a little bit late, but okay. So I don't know what happened. I guess it was a chase scene and we just wrecked at the end.
Oh, dude, that was sick. That was
pretty
something off
crazy.
like.
That was pretty crazy.
We were talking about, I think before we were recording, we were talking about like cyberpunk stuff, right? And how much a big fan. I was like, I'm all into that right now, dog.
Omnimusic apparently knew. I didn't tell anybody who the judge was yet, so they didn't know anything about it. And also, they don't know you, so it's like they didn't know that you're like a huge cyberpunk fan. So that came way out of left field perfectly for you.
Yeah, definitely. I'm biased towards cyberpunk stuff. I don't even care. That's gonna affect my score. I don't even care. Yeah, no, I'm leaning towards 8. I'm gonna root for this one. Honestly,
okay.
I like it a lot, and I think it could be like it's cool on its own, but also you could add so much stuff on top of that. You could add a rap on top of it. You could make a chorus out of one of those sections.
You could definitely sing
and
on
you could
it
do
too
a
if you
lot.
wanted to. Maybe he'll let you sing on it or something. Maybe it can be like a new song for you to dabble with.
Hey, I like versatility. That's the name of the game.
Yeah, this is awesome. I mean, that's exactly what I wanted to show was like the versatility and the different changing of artists, or like how they can adapt to things, right? I think this is a really strong genre for them too. This is like a good genre.
Something they integrated the sample well, and they also knew when not to use it. You know what I mean?
That's what I was
dropped
gonna
out
say too.
sometimes because you hear that too much, it gets a little annoying. But you drop it out sometimes, you get free reign to do whatever you want with the rest of the track.
Yeah, I just really liked it. I mean, like, again, personally, I was like, when I made the sample, I was like, oh, this is a cool sound, and then I saved it, and then when I randomly selected it for the battle, I was like, oh crap, this is kind of an annoying sample. So making it sound that cool after I made something super annoying actually is like really awesome.
Production quality. Look, I'll say this: if I'm bopping my head to it, you're doing something right. Number one, just starting off there, because it's easy to make a song that's like it's happening, but it's just
music.
You're not feeling anything.
Yeah, it's just it's music.
And song if it's not making you feel it, but if it's moving you, if it's commanding you to move physically, I think that's points for the production quality, and especially for dance music or like EDM, like mid-tempo, whatever you want to call this genre, cyberpunk. Sometimes even it's called that, dark synth. Having drums be the loudest thing in the mix is super important, and I think that was definitely integrated. That principle was integrated here very well. I've talked a lot. How about you?
Yeah, I liked it a lot too. I think some of it could have been a tad higher quality, but again, it could be just these headphones. Like I said, like it felt like there were some samples that felt like they were held back a teeny bit, or like some noises. I mean, like some of the sounds felt like they were a little bit like they could be more open or more wide around my headset, or like produced and mixed bigger, let's say, because like that's a good genre to go like massive and make you fill your head with like bass, and they could like roll around you, have like pans and left and rights and stuff like that, and you could really do a lot with it. Like you could do a lot of things in there to make you feel like you're really in the world, and I felt really good too listening to it. Like it felt like it was pretty menacing. Like it's an easy thing to kind of think like. It made me instantly, at least in my mind, I don't know if this makes sense or not, it's like I saw RoboCop like walking down destruction. Like really easily.
Dude, that's sick.
There's certain techniques that I think every producer has access to but doesn't always use, and that's like it's like spatial audio panning, and it's also learning about mid-side EQing. If people learn about mid-side EQing, their music instantly becomes a lot better.
That's a game changer, honestly. It's wild that I hadn't known about that for as long as I did, and it's like I'm embarrassed now that I did. What can you do?
It's
right?
just one of those things that like if you don't pick the heads of other producers who just try a bunch of wacky stuff, you never really learn about it. And it's like I didn't learn about mid-side EQ for a long time, And then I started using it for
Mhm.
clients, and then everyone was like, wow, like the mixing sounds like super great now. And I'm like, oh, good. Like it's just mid-side EQ.
Yeah, it's a magic wand almost.
Yep.
Secret producer tricks. Okay, arrangement. There were sections. There were different parts, identifiable different parts. Things shifted. Things moved around. They felt like they led into each other. Each part felt like a natural progression of the last one, and like, I mean, the only thing that could arrange it, quote unquote, better is like, I don't know, some vocals to like see
It added vocals to
illustrate
it,
which part is which. Yeah, to illustrate which part is which, just to switch things up even more. But for what was there, that was all solid, I think.
I really liked the arrangement on this one. Like, it felt like it was pretty fluid. It had dynamic parts. It had different things. He knew when to use silence, and that was like the biggest thing to me. I am gonna fight for one thing. I'm gonna fight for -1 fraction of a point. So if it gets a full point, we're gonna go down -1 fraction of a point, just for the outro being just a crash.
All right. Are you gonna minus your fraction of a point?
It gets a 7.9.
All right.
For originality, there's a lot of really well executed concepts, but it's nothing super original.
It reminded me of a lot of things that I already like. I guess in that aspect, it's not original, quote unquote.
But the X factor makes up for the originality lacking, right? It's like, this song,
Right.
I've heard this style before, but this song made me feel this way.
Yes.
Like, even though you've heard this genre
Okay.
a lot, right? Like, you're a fan of this genre, and it still made you feel this way. So, like, that's, like, part of the originality and X Factor. It's like, oh, like, this had something, like, the groove to it. It made you physically, like, dance, right? Like, that's, like, part of the X Factor.
Yeah.
It's not
Okay.
just like, oh, yeah, like, I've heard a kick drum before, so it's not original. Like, that wouldn't make sense. So, it's like, it needs to have within reason. So, again, I'm like, I've heard this genre, and if you do it poorly, it's just gonna sound boring, right? Even though it's like got all the bass, it's got all the
I've
noises.
definitely
it's
heard
mid-tempo.
a lot of boring ass mid tempo. Am I allowed to swear? 'Cause
I don't mind. I don't care. It's okay. I don't even really consider that really a swear. So, yeah. Do you have any closing notes for Cherribomb and for Omnimusic Production?
Keep number one, both of you keep making music, because that's the only way we're gonna get better at these things is by doing that. That goes for both of them. For Cherribomb, I guess definitely work on some of the mixing of specifically the kick drum on that one. It was very, very boomy, which gave it a lot of tension for sure on the first listen. And I won't lie, I was bopping my head to it on first listen. But on repeated listens, when it kind of starts to sink in that, like, oh, the only reason this song has a pulse is because the kick drum is dominating everything. And kick drums are great. We love them. But it's the stuff around it that gives the song staying power, and you don't want to overpower those other elements. But keep working on that, with working with those video game samples. Those are really cool. And that cinematic sound, you could do something really cool with that. Definitely could. Omni, for you, that was sick. More of that. Let's collab.
That's 2 times now. Jay Figgy said the same thing about last winter. Was like, I want that beat. Let's do something with it. So,
Yeah.
Very good job.
Even if you don't collab with me, do something with it.
Cherribomb had a 6 in creativity, an 8 in sample integration, a 4 in production quality, a 5 in arrangement and structure, and then a 6.5 in originality, scoring a total ranking of 29.5.
Woo!
Omnimusic Productions had an 8 in creativity, a 9 in sample integration for all those different mixing and alterations of the same sample and everything layering. Production quality was a 7.5. The arrangement got a 7.9, and then the originality had an 8, scoring you a final ranking of 40.4.
The error code.
That's the error code. It is 8 points higher than last battle. He won 2nd place last battle, so now he's in 1st place.
Hey, nicely done.
Climbing through the ranks. Yeah, I mean, so I create all these samples. If you guys want to, I definitely am fine with you guys uploading these tracks to your own thing, using them if you want to. These are for you guys and stuff to use for samples and songs and stuff. And if it's part of your progression, I'm happy to contribute to that as well. So, you know, getting to use a sample and getting to utilize it. Maybe that's also kind of one of the benefits, I guess, of doing the beat battles. It's kind of like you get a free sample. I mean, it's not like a huge, it's not a huge bonus, but it's like you at least get to like, yeah, if you want to use it in a song, go for it. Like, I don't mind. I'm not gonna copyright strike you for using my sample and stuff that I made.
That would be the most ridiculous thing. You didn't even make the sample, but someone could do that. The copyright system is
It happens because someone puts it at the beginning of a song, and so it becomes copyrighted because it's like part of the intro of a song. It's like, oh, that's the intro of such and such song.
That's
but it's not
so ridiculous, though.
Yeah, you would be able to fight it pretty easily because you could basically say it's such and such's song, or you could basically link to a battle in a video and be like, it's part of this battle, and then YouTube or whatever else, like, oh, okay, who cares? Like, I'm not gonna strike you for it. So it's super easy to dispute, but it would still flag you for copyright if like a song got big using one of my samples, and then it was like, oh, okay, annoying. Someone else used it, and then they're just like, oh, this is a part of whatever. I think there's a couple songs like that have samples in them that are public domain samples, but like they are copywritten because they're inside this song. And
did you know, like, the Sabrina Carpenter song Espresso was made with like all from like one, not all, but like mostly from like one sample pack off of Splice. So like on Splice right now somewhere, I don't know where, but there are samples of Sabrina Carpenter's Espresso that you could potentially use for your own track. Although at this point, good luck.
Yeah.
Getting past any sort of copyright system with that.
Well, so
you're gonna have to go crazy with manipulating them.
Yeah, here's the thing though about copyright, because like as I've been copyrighting my works, like I've been learning about being my own actual label, and like to do that, it's different. So when you copyright a song, you don't copyright the song, you copyright the recording. So my recording is copywritten how it is. If you recreate it and it sounds too similar to my recording, that's a problem. If you recreate it and it's like different, like a remix, right, then it's a remix. It's something different. It's not going to infringe on the copyright of the recording. So it's like now it's a copyright of intellectual property. That's the difference. So you can't actually copyright intellectual property for Sabrina Carpenter's Espresso because everybody has access to the samples. So her intellectual property doesn't actually matter. Other than like her lyrics, like you can't copy her lyrics verbatim and then recreate the song because that would just be an infringement of the recording and the intellectual property. So
that's so interesting. Okay, I know we're getting like way off topic, but like that is really interesting to hear. After there was this pilot that I did music for, right? And one of the things was we were doing a parody of Rick Astley's "Never Gonna Give You Up." So I obviously had to recreate that track, but with different lyrics on it. When I uploaded that, just to like check if like copyright and everything was kosher and whatever, I uploaded it like unlisted or private or whatever, and it got flagged for sounding what I thought was sounding too similar to the original Rick Astley "Never Gonna Give You Up," which you would expect because it's a parody. But then like as the test for that, I was like, okay, well, let's take the lyrics that we recorded for the parody and just make a remix underneath that, and it's just a remix of that song, and that'll be the song that we use for the pilot. It didn't copyright that. It didn't copyright strike that. Like I put the video together, the original parody with the recreated instrumental. At the first part, like 30 seconds of silence, and then the remix with the brand new instrumental underneath. Copyright claims the first part of that video. So I learned a lot through that very interesting experience, and I think you probably just explained why it worked out that way.
If you took like the "Never Gonna Give You Up" melody, like the da 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 da, like "Never Gonna Give You," like if you took that melody, change the wording, and then change every other instrumental, they can't copyright that melody, let's say. People would probably be like, oh, that's like clearly the Rick Astley "Never Gonna Give You Up" melody, but it's like you can't copyright like individual pieces of like chord, like you can't copyright chord structures, if that makes sense too. Like you can't copyright chords.
Yeah.
So,
you'd run out of songs.
Yeah. I mean, there's also like a fun fact too. There was a guy who created a machine that basically thought up every single possible chord progression and melody you could like do, and they copyrighted every melody it spit out, and it's like every melody that could be possible, like with like the piano roll basically. So it was like every melody you could do, if it's like, even just like a regular up and down scale, like they copyrighted it, and then they basically said we want all of it to be public domain so nobody can ever copyright it.
Oh, wow. They flipped the copyright law and the archaic copyright system on its butt, and now everyone can use all of these different melodies and chord progressions that they copyrighted for the public domain.
There's so many songs, like for instance, imagine if you could copyright drum patterns. That would be so crazy. Like someone owns Four to the Floor and you're like, get copyright struck for just using Four to the Floor.
So much for disco and not like and any genre leading up to it, like jeez.
Yeah. And it's like, see, so in that video, right, he talks about copywriting 68.7, I don't know where the 0.7, I guess 68.7 billion melodies, right? Now, imagine when you just add drums to those melodies, how many more combinations that opens. Like, if you open up every possibility of timings and time signatures for drums, that's like so many more billions of possibilities, and then you add like counter melodies to that, and then you have even more trillions probably of like, I don't know, it goes huge, right? So music's a massive untapped like space of things to be made still, even though like you know, we've been making music for so long, like there's still so many things untapped and just like ready to be made.
And that's why you, Cherribomb, and you, Omnimusicproduction, need to continue making amazing songs, just like you did here today. Subscribe to SoundNinja.
Right. Thank you for the plug. Hopefully everyone who's competing is already subscribed. I'm planning on doing, I think it's at 500 subscribers, I want to double the prize pool. So it's $50 right now to the winner. So Omnimusicproductions is going to be getting $50 USD sent to him. And then hopefully once I get to 500 subscribers, and I can actually, 500 subscribers, if I can talk, I'm going to up it to $100 because then I can monetize my channel. So kind of to celebrate the fact of monetizing my channel, I think it's at 500 now. So to celebrate, you know, going to 500, I want to double the prize pool for all the artists and stuff like that.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's the goal. But
it is what it is.
Omni really surprised me. That was such a great vibe, and it was, you know, I kind of thought in the vein of like EDM, something dark and hard that would go for this when I was creating it. And so I'm really glad that was captured, but I don't think I would ever thought mid-tempo, like synthwave kind of cyberpunky track would go hard with this. I have 30-something different challenges. Foundation was number 1 of 30, so, or not number 1, but it was one of the 30 different challenges I have.
For sure, for sure. I'll try to enter one of these. I didn't enter the last one because, truth be told, I thought that was the one that I was going to be judging, so I refrained from entering because that's what I thought incorrectly.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Then Jay Figgy jumped in there and he already got it, and I was like, well, I don't want to like tell Jay Figgy after he was like, because it was first come first serve. I messaged both of you same time, and then Jay Figgy popped up and was like, yeah, man, I'm into it. I was like, oh, I asked both you guys, but so.
It is what it is. So I'll try to enter one of these days.
Perfect.
I feel like it's only fair. I just critiqued other people's music. It's only fair.
Okay.
I feel it's only fair to have them critique mine as well.
Jump in the pit and see what happens.
Yep, exactly.